This is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. It's Josh Allen that'll be orchestrating. It's a 6'5" quarterback from right. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Boston Scott, his first carry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Here we go now.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Trying to lay one up deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the ground they go with a running back. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go now.
Now it's Darnold. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So on 4th down, on comes the Viking kicker, Daniel Carlson. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll run on 1st down. Scott. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. On 2nd down, Scott. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Allen on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now, a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Second down and 10, Darnold. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30. A big play that time for the Raiders. 43 yards. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. This will be a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. They are in an... And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Darnold. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And avoids the contact by sliding. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover it, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the 2nd quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. On 2nd down, here's Allen. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On 2nd down, Darnold. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. 3rd down here. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 22. So we've reached halftime here. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Nifty move. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook.